The late Mike Leach is the winningest head coach in Texas Tech football history. He went 84-43 with the Red Raiders. That included winning 11 games in 2008 and upsetting number 1 Texas. However, if you followed this sport on any level, you know Leach leaving Lubbock didn't exactly end well. Till the day he died, Coach Leach was still pissed off that Texas Tech tried to ruin his reputation and that they didn't pay him for the last year of his contract. He was still bringing it up to friends that he was close to, even in his last year. He was still filing lawsuits, which, by the way, if you want to know how Texas Tech got out those legal issues, you should Google it. It's wild. Tech invoked sovereign immunity. I mean, the whole thing from, to 2011 is bananas. And Mike Leach said back in 2017, this is before his time at Mississippi State, of course, he said, this thing won't really go away. He said, it'll never go away until this thing is settled, and it should be settled because why should the future generation bear the black eye and the cloud that their university cheated their most successful head coach in history? And why should I bear that some of the 10 most productive years of my career? I was cheated out of my salary, and all the great memories that I, fans, players, and coaches had are diminished. Texas Tech still owed him $2.6 million. These days, that settlement would basically be nothing, but principle is principle. By this point, some of you may be asking why the hell I'm even talking about this. I get that. Last week, Texas Tech announced that they will recognize Leach with a spot in their Hall of Honor. Leach passed away December 12th due to complications related to a heart condition. I remember thinking it was weird that Tech football was wearing, gear honoring Mike Leach for their bowl game against Ole Miss. But this is even more weird to me. There's been no news that I found about whether or not Mike Leach's family approved this, whether or not they're okay with it, or if Texas Tech even reached out to him. What I'm worried about is that Tech is doing this to try and make themselves feel better, or even worse, just to make themselves look good. Honestly, it's a bit shameful. What that school did to that man, the stress that they put him through, I feel like it's wrong of them to not give this more time. Instead, they're doing it less than a year after he passed, knowing that he was still not okay with being mentioned in the same sentence as that school. If the announcement had come with, an apology of any sort, or at least, mention their wrongdoings and why the relationship was so broken, I might could understand it. But all they did was talk about how Tech experienced their most successful seasons in history under Leach, and then talked about his, quote, memorable tenure. I mean, the last paragraph of that release that they put out starts with, following his tenure at Texas Tech, Leach enjoyed successful stints at both Washington State and Mississippi State. There was no mention of why he ended up at those places to begin with. I mean, Tech tried to destroy that man's reputation, and they stole money from him. I don't think that honoring him without any kind of apology or admission of wrongdoing is the right way to go about this. Maybe it's just me. Tell me what you guys think. Hopefully they'll do the right thing here, but this looks like a PR move if there has ever been one. I mean, it is just grotesque. Thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Make sure and follow me on Twitter @GaryWCE. If you want to toss in a question, you can email me, Gary@winningcureseverything.com. Make sure and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.